Raleigh.
I've got to have a southern draw to say that. Our names are Mike and Heather. We spent the summer converting our Ford Transit Connect into a camper van with the ultimate goal of traveling to all 50 states. We have already been on one epic road trip, and now that our van has been finished, we're ready to set out on another. Subscribe and join us as we explore the US and try to figure out this whole van life thing. As always, thanks for watching. Today we are continuing up through the Outer Banks and have a very exciting stop in Roanoke, which is known for the site of the first English colony in the New World that mysteriously went missing. We're excited to check out the fort that has some of the remains of this colony, so that's where we're headed now.
Oh, please let them ask me for $30. Please. And then I can show them our America the Beautiful pass and be like, we're all set.
We did pay the $80 to get our pass.
Where's my wallet?
Yeah. As you lost your entire wallet.
We're getting ready to walk into the visitor center. It looks pretty nice. There's trees covered with Spanish moss and some neat little pine trees. So we'll head in there in just a second and start learning the story of this place.
So I don't know if you can see the ranger's still kind of tucked back behind there, but we actually just finished with a walking tour around the fort. And I don't know what I was expecting for this, but I didn't really know the whole history behind it, so it's very neat to be able to walk through the historic sites and really feel the significance here.
The tour guide did a really good job of kind of presenting the different hypotheses on what happened to the first English colony that was at this site, and you're able to draw your own conclusions from that because there is no solid answer. No one really knows.
This starts the outside of the fort, and you can actually walk into it over here, and it's very neat because they're actually still doing archaeological digs right across from the fort. They dug up this area to look for a local shop that used to be here, so pretty neat that history is still being uncovered.
This was the whole fort.
Doesn't seem big enough. This is definitely quite a small area for a fort, which would make sense about why they apparently had so much difficulty.
Yeah.
You can see that its small size would not have provided nearly enough space for the 1,585 explorers. Okay, wow.
So we were commenting on how small this is and how it didn't seem like it would be able to be enough space for the settlers that came here. And actually the informational placard kind of mirrored that information. So basically this was a small defensive palisade that had been built somewhere, it hasn't been found yet, a larger settlement that probably would be gone by this point, so there would just be potential archaeological remains of it, but it hasn't been located at this point.
So it is pretty crazy to think that this is all that's left of the Lost Colony.
We're seeing this area a lot different than it would have been in the past, but just thinking what the area would have been like, this would have been completely flat, none of these trees would have been here, and realistically this structure is the only kind of evidence that people were even here in the past. Okay, Festival Park is where we're gonna go look at.
We are leaving for Raleigh now. Is it Raleigh or Raleigh?
Raleigh.
Raleigh. I've got to have a southern draw to say that. I can't do it.
Like,
Raleigh.
Say Rawl.
My tongue doesn't want to move like that. Okay, so we're leaving the fort now, and I think it was exactly what we were looking for.
Which fort are we leaving?
I'm not saying that. Okay, so we're leaving the fort now, and I think it was exactly what we were looking for as far as the history side of Roanoke, because we were very interested in coming down here because of the legend and the mystery of it going missing. But now we are heading to Corolla.
Yeah, so
okay, I didn't know if I was gonna butcher that as well.
So I think we're gonna drive through Manteo a little bit. Oh, there's horses out. Whoa. People are out riding horses.
That's what we're actually hoping to see when we go to Corolla. I know that we had a lot of great luck when we were on Cumberland Island seeing the horses, so I don't know if we'll be able to just casually come across them with the same amount of ease there, but if not, we already saw some horses.
There is like a herd of wild feral horses in Corolla. They'll walk through yards and walk on the beach and stuff like that, so hopefully we'll be able to see them. A
quick drive down the road later, and we are now out front of the Marshes Lighthouse.
Yeah, so this should be the Roanoke Marshes Lighthouse. It's not a tall one like the ones that we saw in Ocracoke or Hatteras or Body. And this one's, I think, just kind of a small one. But there's a nice boardwalk here as well, so we'll go take a look. Something to see before we leave Roanoke Island.
Yeah, so as we're making our way out of the Outer Banks, we figured we'd get in one last lighthouse. So let's go take a look.
Actually, we might have two, because there's the Currituck Lighthouse. a pleasant day today.
Soak it all in because we're going to the fall and colder weathers.
Yeah. Leaving Roanoke Island. I thought it was really cool. I think honestly this was maybe our favorite location that we went to in the Outer Banks, just in terms of the geography and the history. Really enjoyed learning about the Lost Colony and walking through the town itself a little bit. We were just in Manteo. I think that there's probably more to explore there, but we're continuing northward so that we can get up to New England and start seeing some of the fall colors. But we've got one more Outer Banks stop that's going to be going to Corolla Beach. There's a lighthouse there and hopefully spot the horses. So we've got about an hour drive ahead of us until we get there, and then after that we are complete on our Outer Banks leg.
Am I crazy? Tell me, baby. Is it premature to tell you how I feel? Because lately I'm thinking maybe that this thing.
So this is the Currituck Beach Lighthouse. I know absolutely nothing about it, but it's very different looking than the other ones we've seen. The other ones were white and then white with black stripes, and then obviously the Marshes Lighthouse was a lot more squat. This one is brick, which is really cool and kind of striking.
I'm saying that this one is prettier. Mike thinks that the one that we climbed is prettier.
I mean, this one is definitely like really cool. I don't know, I just think the other one, the location, the colors, like...
But look at all this. You got that nice little area here. It's all shaded, which has massive perks. Cool. I really like the brick. Let us know who's right. Do you prefer the brick one or the black and white one?
Or if you liked any of the other ones, whether it was the Roanoke Marshes Lighthouse, Body Island Lighthouse, or even the first one we went to in Ocracoke.
I'm saying that this lighthouse officially wins because look. Chickens.
I'd like to take you up, and treat you right up into my dying day.
So this one is 162 feet tall. This has 220 steps though, so it's actually one more step, I think, because the other one was 219, so it's one more step than the one we climbed.
So mine wins. It would be interesting to actually see what it looks like, but like typical Mike and Heather fashion, we are 10 minutes too late for the tours.
I'd like to take you up, treat you right up.
So we're getting our last look at the lighthouse as we're pulling away. We didn't see any horses with our quick drive through Corolla, but we did see some chickens, so it's a win in my book. And with that, we are headed out of the Outer Banks. We're gonna drive through historic Corolla just to kind of see some of the sights before we officially leave, but that kind of marks our end to the Outer Banks trip.
This is blocked off.
Uh-oh.
Interesting. The plot thickens.
And with one more wrong turn in the books and another lighthouse, we're gonna call it a day here in the Outer Banks, and we'll catch you all in Delaware. Good night.
Hey, 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 hey.